And that ninja went in. Look, when I tell y'all it was me and him in this car going to town.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. But I guess you know now. Girl in the cut, she choose, say, club going up.
Hey ladies, welcome back to a new video. Girl, my name is Ivy and this channel is Women's Life with Ivy. Girl, when I tell y'all, I am coming back slowly but surely. I'm coming back from a cold. And when I tell y'all it had mother down, it had me down bad. But I thank you, ladies. I thank you all for your comments. I thank you for all the well wishes. My voice is still a little, I've been up for a while. I've been up since about 6, and it's probably about 9:30. Today is actually Thursday. I slept the whole day away yesterday. So, girl, oh. So I'm going to get right into my topic. As you can see by the title, I wanted to talk about domestic violence and how it's a way out. It may not seem like it when you're in the midst of it. And I'm just going to share some of my story with domestic violence. I was in a domestic violence situation when I was about 20 years old. My daughter was about 4. I was living in Buffalo, New York, which is where I'm from. And some neighbors had moved across the street. And they had a get together and they invited some friends. And one of the friends they invited up wasn't my friend, it was their friend. One of the friends, oh, look, if you ain't subscribed, baby, subscribe. I need you to like this video and I need you to subscribe. Meet me in the comments. Look, I got to give that PSA because we trying to get this channel monetized. Now back to the regularly scheduled program. So they had this get together. I'm over there at the get together. It was a guy there and the girl was a husband and wife, and they introduced me to this guy. Wasn't my type in no way, shape, or form. Look, let's just say he wasn't my type. So anyway, I got my daughter. I'm young, 20 years old. I had my daughter by my daughter's father. Of course, that didn't work out. So, okay, here we are. So me and this guy, even though he wasn't my type, he was funny. And I wasn't looking for anybody. The whole thing just kind of happened, right? So living with my mom, I got a daughter. My mama was trying to tell me how to raise my daughter. Ma'am, I'm grown and this is my daughter. So that's how I thought. Let me just tell you, right? So anyway, me and this guy get to talking. We go out on a couple dates and I move in with him. He had his own place. I move in with him, wanting a softer, easier way. A lot of times we as women have to look at the situations that we put ourselves in. Sometimes stuff don't happen to us. Sometimes we run right into that stuff. Now, I'm just going to call a spade. So I'm in this relationship with this guy, and the floor vents, you could hear, like the vents was in the floor. So if it was in the floor upstairs, it's in the ceiling downstairs. So anyway, I'm laying on the couch. No, I'm laying in bed. And I hear him talking to somebody. I don't know who he's talking to. And where we stayed, it was like a cottage, right? So I hear him talking, and he talking about, oh, what he gonna do to her. And I can't, I'm assuming it's a her. I ain't real clear at this moment, right? So, or what he gonna do to her sexually, right? So I come downstairs with my fine, good-looking self. Sir, who you talking to? You can't be on the phone with somebody else. Why? Oh, this goodness is here. I know you not. So I'm going on, and before I knew it, that man slapped the dog mess out of me. And this was the first time I ever was hit by a man. You know, I was stunned. I was stunned. I was scared. Let me say that. I was scared. And because he was quite older than me, I think we're gonna give him the name James. That's what we're gonna say. So I don't remember how much older he was than me. If I had to take a higher guess, I'm gonna say about 8 or 9 years older than me, because I think he was in his 30s. He might have been like 32. Anyway, he was older than me. So anyway, he slapped me. I'm like, I couldn't do nothing. It was like I was frozen. I went from this to like, what in the hell just happened, right? And so I go back upstairs. He go do whatever he doing. He don't get back on the phone. He get up. He go to work. At this time, I wasn't working. He get up. He go to work. He was doing okay. I'm sorry, ladies. I was having some technical issues, girl. So anyway, he get up. He go to work, and like I said, at this time, he's working as a welder, not a welder, a roofer. So he go on to work. None is the wiser. I'm like, okay, come on now. Is this the life you envision for yourself? I know you 20, but is this the life you envision for yourself, right? So anyway, he come back home. Y'all know it was flowers involved. It was I'm sorry involved. It was I'm never gonna do that again. That the song. Somebody needs to make a song out of that, cause that's the song they sing, right? So anyway, we going on, we venturing on. So anyway, we go on. I accept his apology. We move forward. So now this particular day, I'm in a tub. I'm ticked off because my stamps is gone. Now I wasn't working, but I was getting government assistance, and my stamps is gone. Where's my stamps? So I just want to make sure this is on. Anyway, so I'm in a tub. I'm relaxing, but I'm ticked off because my stamps is gone. So when I realized my stamps was gone, it's only me and him in the house, right? So come to find out, he was using drugs. He stole my food stamps to support his habit, right? Even though he was paying all the bills, he was what you call a functioning addict, right? So I get out the tub, we fussing, we get to scrapping, right? So now back then, I had this metal. It was like a meat cleaver set. It was like the whatever that's called, the chopper thing. It was the meat tenderizer thing, and it was all metal. So I grabbed that. It's got a bunch of little ridges. You tenderize the meat, make it. So I grabbed that and I started hitting him. So I'm hitting him, and he bleeding, and whatever. So anyway, okay, fine, we're done with this situation. So, anyway, we go to neutral corners, right? And I'm not glorifying this. I'm not trying to make it sound good or any of that. I'm telling y'all, this is how it was, right? So, anyway, where my daughter went to school, I never switched her school. Where she went to school, I had to take her to the bus stop, right? So I didn't have my license. I ended up getting my license while I was with him because he had 3 cars. And he was like, you can drive, but you got to get your license. So I always remember him for that point, right? So anyway, go take my daughter over there, go by my mom. My mom, now I got my sunglasses on, right? My mom like, what's wrong with you? Because I'm in the house, I got sunglasses on, and I'm not myself. Like a mother always knows something just ain't right, right? So I go in, my mom like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? My cousin like, what's going on? And he was like, you need to stop dealing with him because until you do, he's gonna continue to do what he's doing, right? So, okay, whatever. When I looked at it and I counted the cost, I was living with my mom, my brother, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? And at his house, I could be the woman of the house. I could have my own house do my own thing, come and go when I get ready. I ain't got to worry about nobody's mouth, right? So anyway, I decided to go ahead and stay with him. We continue fussing, we continue fighting, and I must say, looking back, I was looking at the stuff. I was looking at the stuff. So many times we get caught up in what a man has, what a man could do for us, not realizing that we're negating our own peace. That's priceless. My mother gave me all the whoopings I needed. She gave me more than I needed. And I don't need anybody to feel like they need to, you know, beat me
All my life I had to fight.
to make me do what it is they want me to do. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we get into it again. And at this time, I don't know what the scenario was because I was 20, I'm 55 now. But when we get into it this time, I'm naked. So I don't know where the sheet came from, if it came from me being upstairs in the bedroom or downstairs. But somehow I ended up running out the door naked with just a sheet wrapped around me, right? So I ran into this police officer, and the police officer took me to the jail, got me some clothes, not to jail, but like to the headquarters, got me some clothes, and was like, "What you want to do about this situation?" I said, "I want to go home. I want to go home." Right? My daughter was in school, so she wasn't home. So he took me back. Now by this time, he had already went to work. He took me back. I got what I could get, and I left. I went back to my mom's. So my throat is dry. So now I go back to my mom. I'm done with him. I'm not dealing with him no more. I deserve better than that. So I get to my mom. Everything is okay, right? I'm safe. So in the meantime, in between time, he's still trying to reach out to me through his friend. Oh, give him another chance. He was going through something. He's sorry. Whatever, right? So me and him end up not getting back together, but he was trying to save his money to move back to Brooklyn. He was originally from Brooklyn, New York. I lived in Buffalo. All of this took place in Buffalo, right? So, okay, I talked to my mom. Can he move here? For about a month so he could just save all his checks. So, he has some money when he go home. Now, in the meantime, in between time, he was using drugs, but he swore that he wasn't anymore, right? I'm young, I'm gullible, I'm impressionable. Okay, look, we're going to call a spade because I'm trying to help somebody to let them know number one, me too. Number two, you don't have to go through this. This doesn't have to be your story, and it definitely doesn't have to be the end of your story. So many situations of domestic violence end, and this is your final story, your final chapter, right? So, because a lot of times you don't know stuff is going on until it's too late. You see people say, "Oh, I didn't know that was going on." From the outside looking in, it looked like they had the perfect marriage or the perfect relationship. So, and that's not always the case, right? So I'm living with him. He not, well, not living with him. He's living with me and my mom for about a month, right? So things are going okay. He ain't putting his hands on me, but now, do I really want to be at my mama house? After having a taste of being a woman of the house, do I really want to be back up under my mother rules? So I come up with a bright idea. I decide to move to Brooklyn with him. You heard me. The only thing I had to go on was his word that he wasn't going to do it no more, right? So anyway, we drive to Brooklyn, pack up his car, whatever, right? We in Brooklyn. So we in Brooklyn. We at his mom house. We are in Brevoy Project, the projects where Biggie grew up at on Fulton Avenue. So we're staying there. It's his mom, his dad, his two sisters. One, two, yeah, his two sisters and his brother, right? These are younger siblings, right? So we are there, we are laughing, we are joking, and none is the wiser. So now at this time, I'm smoking cigarettes. So we go downstairs to smoke. So we laughing at something. I don't know what it was we were laughing at. Well, let me back up before I even get to that, right? It was a situation where we went to see his brother in Attica. Now, when we go to see his brother in Attica, his brother, I forget how much time he got, 25 to life or something. His brother, we having a visit, we all sitting at the table, and we all laughing and joking. I don't know what about, and whatever he said, I went like that, just like a swat. And he wore glasses, and his glasses fell off his face. And so me and his brother was laughing because whatever it was funny. He didn't think it was funny. So he went on with it till we got to the car.
You want to go shopping? I had a man take you shopping. What's wrong with you?
Don't start with me, I ain't in the mood.
You can't do no better than that. Come on.
Went on with it until we got off the prison property. And that ninja went in. Look, when I tell y'all it was me and him in this car going to town, girl, his face was all scratched up. It was all bloody. My face is swollen. My lip is swollen. And he gonna tell me, you not going outside until my face heal. Sir, I'm not your child. You can't put me on punishment. So I knew I had enough sense to know that this was not what I needed. This was not where I saw myself in this abusive relationship. Like, does the fact that he have cars give him the right to do this to me? Does the fact that he's the breadwinner give him the right to do this to me? Like, what was in my psyche that told me that this was okay? Because it was not, right? So anyway, we moving on. We still together. Look, I'm just talking about me, right? So now we go downstairs. We go smoke a cigarette. And he pull out a cigarette. And I pull out a cigarette. I'm looking around because I'm in awe. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I only seen Brooklyn in rap videos. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, girl, I turned around to get a light. And that ninja smacked the dog mess out of me again. Girl, I looked around. I seen stars. I seen Pluto and I seen Jupiter. Now what am I gonna do? I'm in this town. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no friends. I don't know nobody. And I really, if I be honest, don't even know where I'm at. I didn't have a plan and I didn't have a backup plan. So I toughed it out. I just hung in there and I toughed it out, right? So we end up moving to his uncle's. His uncle had a rooming house. They stayed on the bottom. It was like a big sunroom porch in the front and then their house. And then upstairs was maybe about 5 bedrooms and a bathroom and a kitchen. So that was the rooming part. So we stayed there and okay, look, I'm going to make this work. I got myself into this. I'm going to make it work. Plus, I was calling home, making sure everybody was okay. But my mother used to always call me honorary, right? I would call when I knew my mother was at church, just so I didn't have to talk to her, right? So when I would call my brother, they'd be like, oh, you need to call mama. She crying. She worrying about you and Courtney. She don't know if y'all okay, whatever. And I'm like, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? She gonna need me before I need her. That's what I'm thinking. Young and dumb, right? So anyway, we venturing on. Things are still not good. We still fighting. It had got to the point where I would run out the house. He would catch me. I be on the ground, on the sidewalk. He just be choking me. Like a couple times he choked me till I passed out. Like not really like passed out like I went to sleep, but just like where I could just feel myself, you know. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this, but I was still doing it. And his family was not helping, not at all. Not they heard us fighting, would not help. And then his mother gonna have the nerve to tell me,
Well, I remember, going through that, and James' father was just like that, and but now we in a place. I love him, he love me. We ain't fought in umpteen years.
ma'am, I am not waiting for your son to come out of his whooping my butt stage. I'm just not gonna do that, right? Now, lo and behold, I found out about his baby mother. He was beating the brakes off for her. I just looked at it. Let me just tell you, I put y'all in the perspective of my 20-year-old mind. I looked at it like it was a slap, it was a choke. All right, and I don't want to deal with it, but I could deal with it, right? I wasn't getting no black eyes, wasn't getting no broken arm. This is how I rationalize things. We can justify and rationalize the most outrageous stuff, right? So I end up going to a shelter because I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm not doing this. And I'm trying to stand on my own 2 feet. So I end up going into a shelter. When I went to the shelter, I end up meeting this girl, and her family kind of took us in. And my daughter, even when she got older, we're still friends with her kids. And so her nickname was Candy. I can't even remember what her first name is. But anyway, because we didn't really keep in touch, my daughter kept in touch with the kids because she had another friend. Anyway, I was so grateful that this family took me in, and they allowed us to be like, to feel safe, to feel welcome, you know what I mean? And so I had seen James around, because Brooklyn and like Freeboy Projects was here off of Fulton Avenue. But then if you go down this one street, I can't think of the name of it. I can't think of the name of it. It's another set of projects. Kingsborough, I believe. But anyway, that's where her mother stayed, so that's where we were at. And I was so fearful of seeing him. Like the other people around, the other men around, I'll just say that. They like, you don't have to be scared. And I did end up getting back with him one more time. Anyway, we get into this final finale of this domestic violence, right? Because domestic violence is real. If you feel like you alone, you think you alone, because that's what they do. They try to get you alone, get you from talking with your family, from talking with your friends, from being around people. And even when you're around people, you so scared that you don't even want to tell nobody, because you think if you telling them in confidence that they going to keep it to themselves. But no, they got to go tell everybody. Did you hear what happened to such and such? You know what I'm saying? So, baby, I would never say that you are dumb. I would never say you're stupid. I would never say that's what you get. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, we get into this final fight, right? We fighting, we arguing. He picks up a glass and throws the glass at me. Now, from where I'm at, this is our bed. Now, this is the room. This is our bed. This is my daughter's bed. And it's the double doors behind her, right? The French door that led right into his uncle's living room, right? So he throws the glass, and it didn't hit me. It didn't hit my daughter, but it hit the double doors, and the glass shattered all over her head, like, right? His family never knocked on the door, never came to see what happened, never came to see what that noise was, right? So I instantly stop with him and look at my daughter. So I'm looking at my daughter, and I'm trying to get the glass out of her hair. She had 2 ponytails. I remember that. She had 2 ponytails. I'm taking the ponytails out. I'm shaking the glass out of her head, whatever, right? So up until this point, ladies, up until this point, I didn't think I was hurting my daughter. I didn't think I was hurting her. I didn't think her seeing her mother being hurt hurted her. I didn't think because he didn't hit her that she wasn't being affected, and she was. You got to understand, ladies, because your children, number one, are in the presence of domestic violence, they are affected. Whether they're being hit physically or watching you be hit, they're still affected, right? So I don't know what to do at this point, but I know I got to go. I know I got to go because James ain't changing. James is not changing. He's still using drugs. He just makes enough money to cover it, right? Functioning addict, right? So get her situated, get her bath, shower, because it was a shower upstairs, it wasn't a tub. So get her in the shower, get her taken care of. She's laying down. I changed her bed linen. Get her taken care of. She's asleep. James comes in. Look, James, I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. James apologizes to me. I apologize to James, and none is the wiser, right? I give James some, right? I give him some to ease his mind, to make him feel comfortable, to make him feel everything is all right. Now, I'm just telling y'all what I did with my 20-year-old mind, right? Behind enemy lines, right?
Code 10! Code 10, there's a junk line! Get those chains off the doors! The enemy is here!
I'm in a battle. It's me and my baby against them. I'm in a battle, right? Now this all happened over a 9-month period that I lived in Brooklyn, New York, right? So he go off to work. I wait a good solid hour to make sure he was gone. When I realized he was gone and he wasn't doubling back, baby, I grabbed my baby. I think I grabbed the dial or something. I can't even remember, but I think I grabbed the dial and a bag, and I was out the door. Down at the corner was a store. They call them bodegas, but it was a store, and they had cabs lined up along there, right? This was way before. Yeah, girl, my phone is saying out of storage, but anyway, so yeah, so like I said, it was the bodega, and it was cabs lined up all along there. And y'all gotta remember, this is back in the '90s, so it wasn't no Uber or no Lyft, right? And they wouldn't have took food stamps anyway. So anyway, I go down, I talk to the young man. I don't know, young, old, I can't tell you. But I'm telling him I'm in an abusive relationship. Me and the guy I'm with is fighting. I'm not from here. I don't know nobody from here. I need to get home. So going home, he took me to the bus station, and when he took me to the bus station, I was so fearful looking around, seeing if I was going to see him. And I end up getting home on the bus. My baby did not have any shoes, but guess what? We were safe. My mother opened her arms. I told my mom, I called her, I said, Mom, I need to come home. She said, where you at? I said, at the bus station. She said, come on. And I tell y'all my story, moving to Brooklyn, still being abused, from going to a shelter, living in a shelter, to paying the cab with food stamps to get home, to finally getting back to Buffalo, and my baby ain't had no shoes. Baby, it was a journey. It was a journey, and it was a struggle. And that's why I wanted to do this video on domestic violence, because it's very prevalent. This was back in the 90s. This 2024 is still happening. And they often, excuse me, they often females, like it's just a habit. What gives you the right to put your hands on somebody else's child? That's not your child. What make you think you could take your frustrations out on another human being? I mean, I don't know anybody personally, and I'm sure I don't know what y'all bloodline is. But I don't know anybody personally in my situation, my circle, my family, whatever, that was actually living during slavery, where you got beat, you got hung, and you was killed because you had to follow the rules. And if you didn't follow the rules, these are some things that will happen to you. It's not slavery. You don't own nobody. What gives you that right? So that was the first and last abusive relationship I've ever been in. And I know I did a video on dating, and yeah, I want to date, and but girl, you just don't know. You don't know. Like I tell you all the time, you meet these representatives, you don't know what these men background is.
Oh.
So anyway, ladies, I just wanted to touch bases. I'm sorry I was having an issue with my phone, but I just wanted to talk about domestic violence and how it's real. You are not alone. You are not the only one. Here's the domestic violence number right on the screen. If you need to call, baby, please don't worry about stuff. I'm not leaving him with my TV. I brought that living room set when I got my taxes. Baby, you want you or you want that stuff? Because you only get one you. You get one you. Get you and your babies to safety. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for Mother. Because with this camera acting up, you know why? Because I have videos that I need to edit and get out of my phone. And so much footage. But Mother been sick. But I'm coming back around. I'm feeling a lot better today. That's why I was able to do this video, but I feel me sweating and I'm drinking juice and anyway. Thank you ladies for watching. Oh, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do this video. I wanted to. I wanted to do it yesterday so I would have it done, but I just couldn't. So ladies, remember you're not alone. Me too. Don't think you're not alone. If you found this video, you're not alone. From one domestic violence survivor to another, you're not alone. So, ladies, until next time, think of it this way, the prodigal son, right? I was thinking about my mom when I called her to let her know after giving her my tail to kiss, right? To tell her I need to come home. The prodigal son had a speech, but it wasn't even necessary because when the father seen his son, that was all he needed. He didn't need to know the hows and the whys. He was elated that his son was home. I love you all. Until next time.
Can never be what I am, but as long as he with me, that's what it's gonna be.